What is up? What is up? It is Thursday afternoon. Jonathan's over there Jonathaning. Some of the guys have already left. It's a little after 5. Show you guys what we got going on. Then we're going to walk back up front and look at that super pump up there and give you some updates. Some super minis getting built up. There's Dad. Got some skids. We had a really good production week this week. So they built up this one, trailer, 2 super minis, and 3 mini pros. It's a good week. Hey, I'm filming. Don't say nothing you regret. So we're trying to put together my work tables over here that are going to go in this corner for super pump assembly. I got all my little parts and all that. It's a lot of little things, bolts and grommets and wire and terminals and stuff like that. So as you can see, we've got lots of stuff here. We're just waiting on the last couple of things. So these are CNC'd pump heads. The final product will be injection molded, but the molds are getting done right now, and that takes a long time. So we went ahead and paid about 50 grand to have a bunch of them CNC'd, so you guys weren't having to wait any longer than you are gonna have to. These are here. These are bell housing adapter. Just a lot of parts that we do have. It's about the only thing we're waiting on is motors, and they're supposed to have shipped a month ago. And you know, it's one of those things. So the goal was to get them out the door in Q1. Looks like we're probably not gonna even get Q1, but it may be 2 weeks into Q2. So all you guys that have pre-ordered, we got about nearly 100. It's a little less than 100 pre-orders on the super pump, and that's how many I got coming. I got 20 motors expedited air freight, but they're probably going to land at the same time that the rest of the other 80 get here anyway. So, you know, I hate it. I don't like it. I didn't make any promises that these things were going out in Q1 because we've done enough big projects to know there's always some kind of freaking delay. Even if you kind of bake in a delay into what you estimate, it's still never going to be what you think. So fortunately, the only thing we're waiting on is the motors, and they're custom. So as soon as those land, we're going to be building those first 100 here in-house and getting all of the pre-order guys caught up. So within a week, we'll be able to get all them out the door. Hopefully not many more weeks are going to go by here, because I know you guys are chomping at the bit to get them. I'm chomping at the bit to get them out the door. And so I built this one up today. One of the last components came in, which was this box here, which is containing all of the electronics. So these came in late yesterday, and I went ahead and built one out with electronics box on a speed control. Now all the ones that are going out for pre-order are just regular on-offs, but it'll look identical to this. The only thing that will look different is it won't have this knob right here, and this is not the final knob either. We're waiting on those to come in, but I ain't gonna wait on that. If a guy, you know, if we get everything here but that knob, I'm sending it, because I know a dude would really don't care. Like, he wants to get the pump. So that's what's up with that. It's coming. It's just hurry up and wait. Oh my gosh. And then you know, another week delay, 2-week delay, and all that stuff stacks up on you. So it is what it is, but it's not like crazy. You know, we estimated Q1. It looks like we're going to probably miss that by a couple of weeks. So, and I know out of some amount of dudes that pre-ordered, somebody's going to call and have a bad attitude. And I'm going to tell them piss off, because we did not promise it. I was just really expecting it to happen in Q1, but you know, it'd be all right. It ain't the end of the world. Yeah, you answer your question there, Flying Dutchman. That's a cool name. I haven't put the ones with the controller on the website yet for pre-order, because I wasn't exactly sure yet on a final cost of goods for the guts on the electronics, which are quite different than the standard on and off. There's a big price difference in them, but we were working to get that price down. So I'm waiting on an email response, which it may already be in my inbox, of a final quote for that. And if that is accurate, I'll be able to put those up for pre-order as well here this week, because we'll have a number of what it's going to cost us on that board. We had a number of one company, that the one that, you know, what's in here now, where it came from, but it was like insanely expensive, several $100s. So we're like, we can't do that. We got to get that price down so we can pass on some of that to you guys. So I'm, like I said, I'm waiting on one reply on an email, and if what they're telling me is right, I'll be able to put those on the site, or have that variable option on the website where you can see what the standard one is and what the upcharge is for the speed control, which is really cool. So I can show you guys, this one's working. Cut it on, cut it all the way down. So it's, I don't even know if y'all can hear that, but it's barely chugging along. And then we can adjust it up. There you go. So everything else is here except for motors, and like I said, I'm paying for those to be expedited as much as possible. And I love those green Red Bulls are good. As soon as the motors get here, what I'm probably going to do is stop production for about a day or two in the shop on equipment, and we're all going to get over there and assemble these and get everybody kind of caught up on these, because we got guys that pre-ordered these back at the convention in August, and I want to get all those out the door so people can start using them. Question right there about the Super 8. Those are going to be coming soon right behind this as well, because the cool thing about the Super 8 is all the engineering is done, right? All we're got to get for that is a single shaft version of the Sweet 16, and I've got those being spec'd out right now as well, and getting that dialed in. So the good news with the Super 8 is I don't have to get any other stuff. It's all the little stuff is the exact same. In fact, we're going to use this same electronics enclosure, which is don't need to be that big for the Super 8, but instead of waiting and redesigning a box and shrinking all that down, it's going to take time. I'm just going to use this same box, use the same relay on all the stuff on the inside, so I'm not making you guys wait any longer. But yeah, Super 8s are going to be, you know, it'll be like looking at that much, probably like that much of a Sweet 16. Come on, Brian, I won't tell them, hey, we're live.
Keep on going.
Yeah, so I don't have a date for you. These will come out first because that's what we've been working on longer. Super 8s will be right behind these. I wouldn't think very long, but you know, I wish I could tell you a day. It's just waiting on them to get me a motor, because again, those are custom motors as well. They sort of have a footprint, and then we have to get a certain amount of torque and RPM out of them, so they got to make them for us. But shouldn't be too long past. These will be going out really soon. Any Friday here, I'm gonna be building pumps up and getting them out the door. So it's fun to play with, really cool. I built this one today. It's about all I did all day. And I put the knob on. I actually put this on wrong. Well, I put the wires on wrong on the inside to the PCB board, but I don't care. I'm not going to take it back apart and lay it out correctly. It's backwards from what it should be, but it don't matter. It's just a demo. So it looks really good. Really happy with how it turned out. We're probably going to redesign this just the way this looks. I don't love it. And you can see that says 150 PSI max pressure. It'll do a little more than that, but I ain't gonna advertise that. You can crank that up a little bit here on your pressure switch, but we're gonna stay conservative with what we tell guys, because they'll destroy them. They'll tear them all to hell. We can get about 175 or so, but I know what you guys are wanting to know is what's the PSI like at the gun, 6 feet out from the gun. That's a hard number to come up with, because everybody shoots different type guns and orifices and stuff like that, and it can change it all. But yeah, Reg, you got that turbo on it. Really excited to get these out the door here, guys, and at least early enough in this washing season where y'all can make use of them and make a bunch of money with them this year. So definitely before, you know, the end of the spring gets here, for sure they'll be out the door. But this one is just stuck down to the base plate with sticky pad, but these are all welded to the base plate. The base plates here are stainless steel. I know they're black, but we're having them powder coated black just because it looked good, but I'm not sending out that. Y'all know what that would look like if it wasn't stainless in about 2 months, right? So stainless steel base plate, and then it wraps under the motor and it comes all the way up back here, and then we're gonna bolt this to here. So all that is stainless, which is what you want. All the electronics are sealed up really good. You could run this thing through a car wash and none of the important stuff's gonna get wet. It's like IP whatever. What's that rating? It's like IP65 or whatever they call it. It's like a waterproof rating, but it's completely watertight. We went with this as well, Anderson plugs. So if you're running it on your equipment, if you got older equipment from us, probably the easiest thing to do would be to take this off and go back to a 2-pin connector, and that'll work just fine on your rig. But the bougie way to do it would be to install a Anderson port, which is easy. You can get them on Amazon. I like the Anderson stuff because it's click. It's really solid engagement. It's a better connection for heavy duty stuff that's pulling a lot of amps. Like I said, all this stuff was CNC'd. I paid a bunch of money to have this stuff CNC'd because if I didn't, we'd be waiting on that too. So I don't want you guys to have to wait any more than you're gonna have to, but head kits will be on the website as well. Really cool, super excited about it. We've sold a bunch of Super 8s, and that's sort of about the last thing I'm keeping pressure on all the supply chain guys about. Is this project's pretty much done. We're just waiting on stuff to arrive at this point. Super 8s is what I've got my foot on the gas, trying to get all that stuff. It's really just the motor, but trying to get the motor expedited to get it here, and we had to change that base plate a little bit to fit that smaller shaft motor. But like I said earlier in the video, this box, it'll look kind of different. You've never seen a single shaft Super 8. It's going to look different because it's only going to be, imagine that much, but with still this box. Because I have these, I've got the electronics for these. We're not going to have to wait another 2 months to build electronics for a Super 8. That don't make no sense. It's spring, let's go. And we may revise that in the future sometime later this year and make it look a little more proportional to the motor. But you know what? We need the freaking pumps. So I just said all that, Jack. Bormit, I just said all that. It's literally like the question we get 156 times a day. When's that pump gonna come? When's that pump gonna come? When's that pump gonna come? Like, well, I don't know. But I just covered that, dude. So rewind this live when I get done and go back like 30 seconds. You missed it by half a minute. But they're on the way. And I made it a point to tell my guys, don't entertain no damn questions about when's the fucking pump gonna be here, because I will just ignore you. The thing is, when I sold you the pumps, guys, not just talking to y'all, but I'm just talking to the internet. We have a disclaimer that you had to click past before you could buy it that said, look, damn it, we don't exactly know when they're gonna be here. So this is a estimate, you know, but you know, guys don't read. I get it. You get antsy. It's springtime. We're all ready to you know, get our hands on the shit. I know, like, I've been in y'all's position too, where you're chomping at the bit, but I swear, I promise, we are doing all the things to get these things out the door here, because trust me, I want them to go out quick more than y'all do. I need them in stock, because pre-order, I don't buy a lot of stuff on pre-order. There's stuff I will buy, but you know, I'd sell a lot more of these if they were on the shelf. We all know that. So trust me when I say I want it more than you want it to be on the shelf and rolling out of here. And it'll be that way. It just takes time. But yeah, so to answer it again, the Super 8s, Sweet 16s, next few weeks, motors get here, they're out the door. Super 8s, I'm going to say probably a few weeks past that to get those motors in, test them, make sure that we like that exact motor. Again, we've done a lot of testing, but we like to have, before we commit to 1,000 motors, we want to make sure that it's right. So they may be a little further out, you know, towards into the spring or early summer, because hell, it's end of March now. But that's what it is. yeah, so and I hope that makes sense, y'all. It's like I'm trying my damnedest here to get them out the door, but somebody's asking something about these garden hose fittings. No, George, you cannot use garden hose fittings. These are custom fittings, and it'll come with barbs, but they're custom. They're not any kind of nothing else out there is going to fit them, but we'll have them, you know, on the side. They're not expensive, but we're going to give you four fittings anyway, so you ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, yeah. But they go way back into the housing here on the quick attach side. They're double O-ring sealed, so they go further back than all of your other quick connect pumps that you're going to see out there. They go like to here. Reason it has to be that is because this thing's creating so much torque, it'll try to wobble. We had to eliminate side fumbling, and then also the 2 O-rings gives you an extra seal, so lack of possibility really for a leak. So you got your inlet side and your outlet side, and the way that I would plumb this is pretty much where this switch is at would be coming up, plumbing suction line 1 inch up, 3/4 out to both of the inlets on a T, and then back out. And we're going to provide the plumbing stuff as well. That'll come in the box. So really simple. I'll walk out here and let you guys see on the little spray rig that I've got set up. AJ putting in midnight oil over there. That's a better table. Something like this. So I made this here, and inlet 1 inch, 1 inch inlet, 1 inch from the tank, and then it's going to go to 3/4 inlet to the pump, and then 3/4 to the other side inlet. You see the barb here, what I'm talking about? It's a really nice heavy duty barb, but this is a custom made barb. We made our own. So you got 2 O-rings to seal, and then that slot's where your tab's going to go across right there. So I debated about making, you can clean this up with different style clamps and stuff, but it is nice to have field serviceable, just regular old hose clamps. So we're probably just going to stick with this kind of a setup, because you can play with it out in the field. I mean, you can cut your own little piece of 3/4 hose and get right back up and running, and it's not like weird, you know, ear clamps that once they're on, they're hard to get off, and tight spaces. So this will be what you're kind of looking at. Your inlet, now if you're going to a blend manifold, that inlet's 1 inch T here. So the 2 T's, this T and this T, are not the same. This one is 1 inch by 3/4, 3/4, and then that feeds the pump. So you're feeding it 1 inch to here, and then 3/4 to both inlets of the pump. Then you're outbounding 3/4, 3/4 this way to your outbound hose reel. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, it's simple stuff. So I like being able to quick connect it on, quick connect it off, and it'll just sit just right like that there. And you can also see how this is staggered. We did that on purpose, because if they're right on top of each other, you can't get to everything. We staggered the ports so they're able to be, you can get in here, and if you set your hose clamps up right, you can get in there and touch every hose clamp without having to move stuff, if you ever have to get in there and tighten or loosen one or whatever. So yeah, the barbs are, oh Lord, my knees. There's your T fitting right there, inch to 2 3/4, and then clips, all that stuff's been custom done. There's your barb. That's what they'll be looking like. Little reinforcement gusset right there in the corner. All that takes a lot of thinking, you know, making something and then changing it and making another one just for the barbs. It's a lot of time. These base plates here. There's a few of them anyway. So yeah, man. Simple. This is my little mock-up spray rig, and we'll be building every single pump on the table over here, and then setting it down, plugging it in, and spraying. I got a drain in the floor, so I've been putting up a piece of aluminum plate right here and hitting that, and it'll just run down the drain. Make sure that everything's working, not leaking, and then we'll box it up and ship it out. It's gonna be fun. So we got, like I said, 100 coming, and then 500 more after that on the way as far as motors, and then another PO that we'll put in right behind that for 500 more. All the other parts are molded by the thousands and thousands, just like batch busters, custom molded. So we're just waiting on the tooling for the molds to get done, and it's close. It is close. Brian can tell you what's the only thing Cody has a brain cell on at all.
You do know
Super pumps.
super pumps.
What am I'm saying?
Crazy.
What's the only thing I'm thinking about these days?
Oh, that's all we do.
I don't. If it ain't a super pump, don't talk to me about it. That's all I give a shit about. But it's come together. It's really close. So I don't know what my next big project's gonna be. This was last year. This has been, well, this was the year before. This has been last year coming over into this year. You see the theme here, right? See the little theme right there. Man said, "Can I get a super pump sample?" Y'all stupid. Y'all crazy as hell, man. But I appreciate y'all, dude. More than you know, we got some great customers, and we're gonna try to make you a bomb, or we have made you a bomb here that you can go out and do anything in the world you need to soft wash, and it's still in a good footprint, easy to service, not gonna break the bank. They're not cheap. They're not supposed to be cheap, but they're exactly what we need for this world. So I'm gonna end this, dude. Yeah, we're working on electric reels as well right now. That's electric reels ain't a big enough project. We're working on them, but I don't consider that even a project. That's just like a thing we do. So it don't arise to project level unless it's got, you know, like a Ferrari or 2 Lambos worth of money involved. But yeah, we're working on them. Just another thing. Can I pump HS and water mixed through a gas pressure washer pump? No, that's not, you don't want to go through the pump, bro. That's a bad idea. Yeah, go back up here and answer Aunt Mo's question. He said, when everything becomes available, are you going to provide one final tutorial? Yes, I will. I'm going to do a big walk around out there on the table. Talk about what it needs for power requirements, which is easy. It's just 24 volts. Plumbing setup and all that stuff. It's not nothing complicated, but yes, I will do a full walk-up tutorial of how to set one up properly, what you need for plumbing, and what you need for electrical demand. This one is just running on 2 batteries in this little shelf right here, and it's been sitting that way for months. I'm gonna recommend lithiums, but you don't have to have it. I'm also, a good recommendation would be an inverter on your truck and run it like that forever. That's not an expensive thing to add to your truck. Some of y'all's trucks probably already got an inverter, so you can do that and then just have your battery and then have your charger hooked up to your truck. That way you're charging when if you're in your truck, which you're gonna be, you're basically got limitless power as long as you got fuel. All right, guys, I'm gonna go home. I'm tired. Hope y'all have a great day. Again, just some updates here on super pumps. We're a few weeks out, I'm gonna say, at this point from shipment, which gets me a few weeks past what I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. And then we're probably a few, maybe, I don't know. I'm hesitant to give you any kind of numbers on Super 8s because I don't feel warm and fuzzy yet about giving you a date on that. So hang in there, keep using what you got. As soon as we get them, we'll get them to you. Peace out.